Okay, so I'm glad you used the term esport because that is the proper term, and I think a lot of people confuse competitive play with esport. Uh, my position, I'm not going to speak for the rest of the team, but my position is we don't get to decide if we're an esport or not. That's up to the players, that's up to the community. Um, but what we can do is make sure our game is better suited to a competitive environment. So that is something from day one we've wanted to do, largely because a lot of what makes a game fun is it fun to play competitively. I mean, I'll say already when we've had some community hosted just 6 versus 6 scrimmages in our game, that those like play tests were the most fun that I've had playing so far. I kind of forgot what that was like. So that's something that's always going to be at the back of our mind. Um, but make people. I get this question a lot too. Is people ask, what are we doing to make the game more competitive?
Yep.
And uh, like design wise, I think I already talked about um, the skill ceiling, making it making a high skill ceiling that's still like accessible. I think that the boring stuff is just making a stable, well optimized game that's free of bugs, that's polished. You can't you can't have a competitive game where you're getting booted from the server like happens to me in Overwatch all the time, and then you can't rejoin. That kind of stuff gets so frustrating and then leads to people quitting. So I'd say in the near term, that's where we're going to be focusing a lot of our efforts, especially before before we launch on early access. And then I think the last like tenet of what we're doing to make our game more friendly to competitive play is all the stuff we're doing with the map editor. Because if you look at David Feeder, a lot of games, the most popular competitive maps did come from the community. Excuse me. So we want to give our community the tools to make the maps that are best suited for competitive play. So all this stuff is stuff we've thought about. I mean that they are considerable development efforts. So once again, we're going to take care of the stability, the game balance, all that stuff first. But I'd say you mentioned two things. You said matchmaking and ranking system. So matchmaking, in my opinion, is something that if you do, you have to do it really well. No one likes a half-assed matchmaking system. So it's not something we're going to be focusing on definitely by early access launch. Might come some. It's one of those things you don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
We really want to make sure the foundation is solid before we start to undertake something like that because there's a lot of ways to do that wrong. That is on our wish list. It fits in with our development style of keeping everything in the game. I mean, there are integrations with Steam that make that a little easier, but that is something we would like to have. It's something we've kind of struggled with now. We just you have people on forums, you have people on Discord, you have people on Reddit. Like there's people all over. It is nice when you know what the like de facto place to go is. Also, you do want clans to have the ability to manage things in game. But like I said, these are massive development systems. So when we only have one or two programmers, that's not something we can do in tandem with game development. Ranking is probably like more near term on our wish list
Yeah.
because people have asked for it. But it also, it's something we want to figure out early on. I'd say our goal is to have the ranking and progression system like fully polished and ready to go day one of full release. Because when we hit that full release milestone, we want there to be lots of reason to come back and keep playing the game and progress. But we will be testing that kind of stuff out during the course of early access. I can't tell you what it is because
Oh, come on.
that would ruin all the work we've put in to keep this a secret. But I can tell you that it'll be announced when we put up our Steam store page and we announce the actual release date for early access. Expect something. Yeah, thank you, and I'm sure the rest of our player base thanks you as well. This has been a good opportunity for us to just give you guys some more information.